purchasing again, and the idea of having full information so you know what you're doing. And we want to distinguish, I guess, between a rational purchasing decision and one which is impulse driven or emotionally driven. Now we need to understand that people who are trying to sell stuff to us, that's their career. So there are whole marketing departments in business schools on marketing, research, understanding what motivates people. So we see this in advertising programs on television, in our junk mail in the letterbox, things that pop up on our web pages, etc., all encouraging us to buy various things. And if we were to say yes to everything, then of course we'd have a real problem. We need to understand what our needs are, and the wants list has to be put onto the back burner, or budgeted for, saved for, and done in a rational way. Occasionally we might go out there and splurge on the credit card, and the consequences of that can be quite profound. And people who follow the financial news a little bit might be aware of the huge budgeting problems that crop up in February after people have spent up for Christmas and then don't have the money to pay for it. But anyway, the thing that I just want to mention in this little talk is, again, that there's no such thing as a free lunch. So I got a little brochure in the mail, or put in the letterbox not that long ago, about roofing insulation. And there is a deal here in New Zealand where the government will provide some funds if your house is pre-2000 for underfloor and ceiling insulation. Right? And you need to get this from an approved insulation fitter. Right? So there in the letterbox was this little brochure about no payments or interest until 2005. And then there is the fine print down the bottom. Right, well, the trouble with the fine print, of course, is that it's a sort of a whitey yellow type on a green background, and even with the bifocal's reading power, it's fairly hard going. But as long as I spend over $1,000, I'm entitled to this. But there is an establishment fee. Right, so they're going to charge me an upfront establishment fee for not paying anything for 18 months, as it turns out. And then there is an account maintenance fee that I need to pay each year as well. And it's a little variable, somewhere between $45 and $55. We don't know how that's going to be set. So let's just go for mid-range. So I could end up paying an establishment fee of $50 at the beginning. So for my $1,000 purchase, it was worth $1,000, it's now worth $950 because I just paid out $50. And I pay my upfront account management fee of $50, so that's now $900 worth of present value that I've got sitting there. And then at the end of the first year, or the beginning of the second year, I pay another $50 out, and at the end of 18 months I pay out the $1,000. Now, was that interest free? Well, the answer is obviously no. I've paid these charges which have an effective interest component to it. Now, if you're into Excel and drive spreadsheets, you would know that you can look these cash flows into it and work out the internal rate of return, the IRR, and if you do that, you'll find out that it's probably around about 12.5% that you're being charged on those type of figures. Well, how can you say it's interest free? Well, the answer is they don't charge interest, they just put charges on you. So unless you understand and work this through, you could be caught. Now, there's a whole range of retailers around Hamilton and nationally in New Zealand that advertise 12 months, 2 years, 3 years interest free on purchases over $500. But in each case there's an establishment fee and or an account management fee, and maybe even a delivery charge. And these things have a cost, and we need to be aware of them and say, well, would I have been better off drawing down on my mortgage account, which might allow me to take the money out against my mortgage at, say, 5.5%, 6%, rather than paying 12% on an interest-free. So, again, be aware of what the hidden charges are. The final thing I want to just cover quickly is phishing with a P, P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G. We need to be very careful of identity theft. We get emails regularly asking us for our password and bank details to verify these, and some people continually fall for this and find that the money is removed from their account. Similarly, giving details of our credit card. Who then knows these things? So if you buy something online and with credit card details, is that information then sold on to someone else? We really need to be very careful of who we trade with online. Are they a reputable firm, and can they guarantee the safety of our information? Don't get caught out, because the implications of finding that you don't have any money in the bank tomorrow morning is not a pleasant one.